Good day. So for today, our topic is about guiding children's behavior and families and teachers partners in education. Guiding children's behavior. Children need adults to teach, guide, and support them as they grow and learn. Child care providers play an important role in guiding children's behavior in positive, supportive, and age-appropriate ways. Child care providers play an important role in guiding children's behavior in positive, supportive, and age-appropriate ways. The most appropriate ways to guide behavior may differ from child to child and will depend on the child's age and developmental abilities and needs. Positive and supportive guidance helps children as they learn self-regulation and find appropriate ways to express their wants, needs, views, and feelings. Guiding children's behavior is an ongoing process. Letter A. Understanding children's behavior. Understand children, then help them develop coping skills to deal with anger, frustration, fears, confusion, and other challenges they face while growing and developing. A teacher must help children respect themselves and the right of others. Our mental health is a fundamental part to our overall health and well-being. As a parent, you play a huge role in supporting your child's mental well-being. Nurturing and loving care build a strong foundation, helping your child to develop the social and emotional skills they need to lead a happy, healthy, and fulfilled life. Number 1. The Guidance Triangle. Guidance Triangle is the ongoing process of helping children learn to control their basic impulses, their feelings, channel their frustration, and solve their problems. Positive guidance involves the child, the adult, and the situation, creating a triangle. Using guidance, parents attempt to teach children how to control their impulses and appropriately express their emotions. Methods to guide children are complex because they are unique to each family, cultural tradition, and expectation. However, the guidance triangles offers 3 elements that suggest a way to positively guide children they learn. Discuss the 3 elements of the guidance triangle. Truly describe what each element focuses on and why it is important to be mindful of this element. Your book vaguely describes this element, so use what you have already learned about the child and the family in your explanation. Explain why we must consider these elements for guidance to be successful. The guidance triangle views guidance as a complex entity, in which positive methods must be appropriate to the child, the adult, and the situation. The child is seen as an individual, taking into account their level of development, unique style or temperament, and whole child. This component is vital, seeing as these all contribute to a child behavior, understanding, and acceptance. A response to a child should always consider how the child may be perceptive to this information and in what method should they be guided. Next one is theories. Nature. Child's behavior is the result of heredity. Nurture. The environment shapes behavior. In general, nature looks at the impact of such physical approaches as neurotransmitters and genome sequencing on the child's development, while nurture focuses on aspects such as peer pressure and social influences. Stages. Children progress through stages. In Erikson's stages of development, there are 8 stages. The stages that make up his theory are: Stage 1. Infancy from birth to 18 months. Stage 2. Toddler years from 18 months to 3 years. Stage 3. Preschool years from 3 to 5. Stage 4. Middle school years from 6 to 11. Stage 5. Teen years from 12 to 18. Stage 6. Young adult years from 18 to 40. Stage 7. Middle age from 40 to 65. Stage 8. Older adulthood from 65 to death. Regardless of the theory, children need guidance in working through situations to develop holistic. Number 3. Factors that affect behavior. Number 1. Developmental factors. Number 1. Developmental factors. Children need language and social skills to solve problems. Expectations beyond developmental capabilities. Developmental factors play an important role in learning. The next one is environmental factors. Physical environment needs to be arranged to promote development and include appropriate materials and culturally diverse materials. Temporal, structure, and schedule should be sequenced to meet children's needs. Interpersonal relationships must be trustful and accepting of all children. The physical environment is the space and occasion in which the child grows, affecting their health, learning, and behavior. In addition, research shows that effects of the physical environment, such as housing, exposure to pollution, and neighborhood quality, all affect the psychosocial aspect of the child. For example, assume a child with disabilities getting access to a ramp to help them access various areas of their home quickly. This example depicts the impact of the physical environment on growth. And the third one is individual factors. All children have individual styles that need to be accepted. Children have unique temperaments. 3 general types: the easy child, the difficult child, and the slow to warm up child. Individual factors are those that affect a particular child, whereas external factors can affect many more: health, disability, sensory impairment, learning disability, heredity, poverty, and abuse are examples of personal factors. The next one is emotional and social factors. Attempts to express emotional and social needs. Need to feel loved and cared for. Need to be included. Desire to be considered important and valued. Desire to have friends. Need to feel safe from harm. The social environment influences on child development are those that affect the social relationships that children will form throughout their lives and the quality of said relationships, whether with their families or to their neighborhood where they reside. Some examples of a child's social environment include educational facilities, housing, recreational facilities, and the places they spend most of their interactive social time. In child development refers to how well the interpersonal and relation needs are being met at home. This factor may include learning what emotions are, understanding and communicating their feelings, learning empathy, and developing appropriate ways to manage and handle their feelings and those of others. Young children are still working out ways to express needs, use nonverbal or indirect actions to communicate problems. Adults must provide models of language for resolving problems, whether family situation may also contribute to behavior problems. And lastly, cultural factors. Discipline and guidance embedded within the values and beliefs of the family. Family culture shapes how children are raised. Conflict is inevitable between teaching strategies and parents' perspective. Teacher must gain insight into customs and tradition and support the children's sense of security and identity. Culture influences how we see the world, how we see the community that we live in, and how we communicate with each other. Being a part of a culture influences our learning, remembering, talking, and behaving. Within every learning environment is a prevailing culture that influences all the other components. In most learning environments, culture is often taken for granted or maybe even beyond the consciousness of learners or even teachers.
The next topic is families and teachers, partners in education. Parents are vital partners in education. They influence their children's attitudes about learning and support learning at home. They are a vital link between home and school. And when they become involved in the life of the school, they make our school better places to learn, grow, and thrive. So, ang aton gidya nga ginikanan ang ga-guide or ga-support sa aton nga pag-eskwela. Promoting strong and effective partnerships. Partnerships are essential for helping students achieve at their maximum potential. And while parent and community involvement has always been a cornerstone of public schools, greater recognition and support of these collaborative efforts is needed. Family, school, community partnerships are assured responsibility and reciprocal process whereby schools and other community agencies and organizations engage families in meaningful and culturally appropriate ways. Families take initiative to actively support their children's development and learning. Schools and community organizations also make efforts to listen to parents, support them, and ensure that they have the tools to be active partners in their children's school experience. So, bali, mangin strong ang isa ka partnership, mangin strong or effective partnerships kung ang family, school, kag community ga-cooperate or what we say, gabinuligay. Partnerships. The approved learning frameworks identify that learning outcomes are not likely to be achieved when educators work in partnerships with families and communities. In genuine partnerships, families and early childhood educators first value each other's knowledge of its child. Second, value each other's contribution to and roles in each child's life. Trust each other. Communicate freely and respectfully with each other. Share insights and perspectives about each child. And the last one, engage in shared decision making. Sa maayo nga pag-partnerships, may ara gid kitaya nga ginatawag na respect. Dapat ara gid na siya para mangin strong ang isa ka partnerships. In respectful partnerships, educators also support parents and their parenting role. They may, for example, source and share information from reputable sources with parents. For example, in response to a parent inquiry, educators and parents may discuss safe sleeping at home, drawing on and referring to reputable sources of information such as the SIDS and kids resources. Next, the complicity of today's family. It is difficult to define family complicity in a way that scholars and policymakers find useful, since it can encompass many aspects of variations and instability in families. We observe that simple nuclear families are easier to describe. For example, A woman and man marry, begin living together around the time they marry, have children together following marriage, and do not dissolve that marriage or have children with others. This means that marriage is lifelong, that residence and marriage always go together, and that fertility occurs only within marriage. For example, children living with a single mother or have siblings. In the other words, ang bata bala na taho or na bata sa ginikanan nga wala pa nakasal or hindi pa kasal, amo ni sila ang mga bata nga nabilong sa complex families. Next, enhancing communication to support learning. Being able to communicate is vital to being an effective educator. Communication not only conveys information, but it encourages effort, modifies attitudes, and stimulates thinking. Without it, stereotypes develop, messages become distorted, and learning is stifled. But before that, what is communication? So, communication is the process of understanding and sharing information, where listening plays or an important role. Intrapersonal or internal communication includes planning, problem solving, self-talk, and evaluation of self and others. It is a continuous process that prepares the speaker to proceed in a clear and concise manner. Interpersonal communication is sharing meaning between oneself and at least one other person. The goal of interpersonal communication is to send relevant and objective messages. We communicate with others not only verbally but by how we act. Since we are constantly sending messages, we need to be aware of our appearance, gestures, posture, eye contact, use of space, or body movement, what we carry with us, how close we stand or sit to others, and our facial expressions when what we say contradicts our non-verbal behavior. Mistrust and confusion results because listeners believe what they say. If mag-communicate ako, no, dapat may respect din na iya. Not only verbally, mag-communicate bala with others. Not only verbally, dapat may nga syempre sa aton man nga pag sa actions taman makita. Since example, kung ga-message ga-communicate ta sa aton loved ones or sa family ta, dapat may ara ta nga ginatawag nga respect. Hindi kay nga mapinataka-taka lang tada kung ano ang i-message ta mo bala. Effective communication skills that build a positive school environment are self-awareness, sending direct, complete, relevant, congruent messages, listening, using feedback, and being aware of what we are communicating non-verbally. Communication is not only understanding and acknowledgement, it is agreement and commitment. As educational leaders, we know we are effective communicators if those with whom we work have a positive attitude toward each other, their students, and their school.